All right, coaches, welcome back to the 2017 Glazier E-Clinics presented by Huddle. I'm going to hand it over to Coach Barnett for his last session. Remember to type your questions in the chat box or text them to 719-425-9459 and fill out the short survey below this video viewer at your convenience before you log off. Coach Barnett will be speaking his last session on man coverage concepts. Coach Barnett, you're good to go.
Hello, everyone. My name is Harlan Barnett. I'm the co-defensive coordinator, defensive back coach here at Michigan State University, and here to talk to you guys today about man coverage concepts. Before we get into that, I want to talk a little bit about who we are here at Michigan State. First of all, the goals of our program. Coach Mark D'Antonio is our head coach, going into his 11th season here at Michigan State. And these are the goals that he talks about to recruits and to our players parents and recruits' parents. The goals of the program. Number one, lifelong relationships with our players. And if you have a relationship with someone, there's respect there, there's trust there, there's commitment there. So we want to be able to have lifelong relationships with our players. Once they leave this place, there's still a relationship. Two, graduate our players. And we graduate our players here at a high clip at Michigan State. The guys, I always tell young people this and their parents, if you don't graduate, you didn't want to graduate, because there's so many resources, so many people you can lean on to get help. And it's just a matter of a will and want to graduate. So you should be able to graduate. Three, impact our community in a positive way. Coach D'Antonio always talks about being givers, not takers. And so we definitely stress that to our players. And we do have a lot of givers on the team. Number four, win championships. Since we've been here in the 10 years, 10 seasons prior to this coming season, we've won 3 Big Ten championships here at Michigan State. So we've accomplished that and looking to get many more. All right, in each meeting room at Michigan State, there are the tenets of that position. And in the defensive back meeting room, the tenets of a defensive back are change of direction, tackle in space, and deep ball judgment. Okay, and that's what we're looking at when we're recruiting the defensive back. We want to be able to see if he can do these things right here, as well as some others. Don't get me wrong, but the main thing we want to see him be able to do is change direction, tackle in space, and have good deep ball judgment, be it interceptions or pass breakups. I always tell this, coaches ask me, you got a drill tape I can get, this, that, and other. And I always tell them your drills should show up in the game. Your drills should show up in the game. So you can make up a drill relative to what you do a lot of, all right? And so that's what we do. We make up drills constantly. We're always making up drills because we want to be able to, when we watch the game film on Sunday, or as a high school coach, if you're watching it on Saturday morning or whatever it may be, you want to be able to look at the film and say, that's our drill right there, Johnny. That's our drill right there, Joe. You know what I mean? So you want to be able to say, that's our drill. That way they say, okay, I'm not drilling just to be drilling, okay? So these drills are making sense, and it's going to make me a better football player. So your drills should show up in the game. Man coverage concepts. Okay, stance. All right, one of my favorite pictures right here of a young man used to coach here at Michigan State. But first of all, his eye control. You see his eye control? You think he's locked in and focused? I think so, okay? When you're playing press coverage, you're in a press corner situation, and that's what this guy is doing right now. Press man coverage, okay? First of all, he's going to take away a side one way or the other. He's not going to line up on the guy head up. He's going to line up on the guy based on the divider inside or outside leverage, okay? And in this case, it looks like he may be slight outside leverage on this guy. And the leverage that you have on him, that's the hip that you're looking at. So in this case, this young man is looking at this young man's outside hip. Excuse me. He's not looking at his head and shoulders. He's not looking at his feet. He's looking at his hip, okay? The head and shoulders and feet will fake you out. So first of all, you got to have a good stance. Slight bend at the waist. He's not bent over like he's trying to stretch his hamstrings, okay? It's a slight bend at the waist, bend at the knees. Hands are at the ready, not in his face, but they're ready. They're ready. They're not at his side either, okay? And again, the focus, the eye control, eye control. All right, hands and kick slide, hands and kick slide. All right, a portion on this video right here, you will not see something else that's before the kick slide, and what we call the hands and the kick slide, and we call it a rhythm step. Okay, and that's something that's new prior to these guys playing that we do now here at Michigan State. And our rhythm step, and I'll just try to explain it. Some of you guys, if you've heard me talk before, you probably see me in action doing it a little bit. But your outside foot is going to take a slight step outside. It says, can you get it on me a little bit here? I don't know if you can see me, but if I'm saying the ball is to my right, just the inside, my outside foot is just taking what we call a slight step. We call it a rhythm step, okay? You got to have your feet up underneath your body. You can't have them too wide, because then when you go rhythm step, it's like you're doing the splits, okay? So they're underneath your shoulders. Your feet are underneath your shoulders, and there's a rhythm step. It's like a little tap, and that keeps me square. That keeps me square, okay? Then whichever way he goes, I'm going to kick slide and offhand jam the receiver, okay? So we say rhythm step, kick slide, offhand jam. Rhythm step, kick slide, offhand jam. Your outside foot is always your rhythm step foot, okay? And then you're gonna kick slide either way. So in this part right here, again, we weren't talking rhythm step back then. And he almost does it, and we weren't even talking it back then, okay? So rhythm step, kick slide, offhand jam. We were overemphasizing the kick slide. The whole goal of playing press corner or press technique is to make the guy run around the tee. I'm gonna come right here, coach. All right, I'm gonna come right here. Make the guy run around the tee. Okay, you wanna make him run around the tee. All right, and we have to understand that sometimes he'll run around the tee for you. Okay, so coaches, you can't get mad. So you didn't get your hands on the guy and he ran around the tee for you, because the whole goal is to make the guy run around the tee. And sometimes he'll run around the tee for you, and you just got to go run and cut him off at the hypotenuse, right? Okay, or other times you're going to have to force him around the tee, and that's when you're going to rhythm step, kick slide, offhand jam the guy. Okay, his goal is, although your goal is to make him run around the tee, his goal is to get you to open the gate and run right where you were standing. Okay, that's his goal. So we got to stay square, kick slide, and we overemphasize the kick slide part right here. So you probably only going to get one kick slide. You're not going to get two, but we overemphasizing forcing the guy around the tee. When you offhand jam, your aim is for the near pec. That's your aim. Sometimes it's going to be the shoulder pads. We understand that, or different places. If the receiver really knows how to release, he's not just going to give you his chest most times. But your aim is the near pec, and you want to offhand jam. That way your hips aren't locked out. Okay. If he shot his left hand here, his hips would be locked out, and he wouldn't be able to get off and open his hips and run with the guy. And a lot of times receivers, when you shoot the wrong hand, okay, they'll grab that hand and keep you there and pull you through. So you want to offhand jam. That's what we call offhand jam. So rhythm step, kick slide, offhand jam. Rhythm step, kick slide, offhand jam. Okay, rhythm step, kick slide, offhand jam. Force them around the tee. Force them around the tee. Okay, the aim is the near pec. The aim is the near pec. You want to punch with your thumb and up, not with your elbow, not with your thumb down. If you punch with your thumb down, your elbow will collapse. Your elbow will collapse, okay? You won't have power. You want to punch with your thumb up. And that's another reason why you also want to kick slide, because if you cross over too soon, you don't have a base. You don't have a base to punch with, okay? If you're crossing over and running and trying to punch at the same time, you have no power to punch the guy, okay? Read the hip drill. Let's go to a read the hip drill, okay? So now, when we're playing what we call cover one or man free, when we're playing man free, and our receivers and our corners get an inside release, they do what we call drop low shoulder. So he's dropped the low on him in a slight trail, okay? And a slight trail. We're saying the guy took an inside release, he rhythm stepped, kick slide, offhand jam, and now he's going to drop low shoulder on an inside release. When we drop low shoulder, we're reading the hip. Look at his head, eye control, on the hip. He's on the hip, not on his feet, not on his head and shoulders. We tell the receiver to run up to the numbers and stutter down and run a stutter go, a stutter in, or a stutter 7 route, okay? And we want to run the route with the guy. We say run the route. So he stutters down with him and then reaccelerates with him, okay? Stutter down with him, boom. Read the hip drill. Read the hip drill based on the inside release. If it is an outside release, then the corner will stay even with the receiver. He will stay even with them. On the inside release, he'll drop low. in man free. In man free. Because he has a rat helper in the middle and a post helper in the middle. That's why he can drop low. Okay? And here's a stutter down, and we say you can undercut dig. You can undercut the dig route in man free coverage. You can undercut the dig route, and that's what he's trying to do here. Okay? Read the hip drill. Read the hip. Okay? He rounded that off. He's guessing. Just be cool. Read the hip, stutter down, and then undercut the dig. You can undercut the dig. Okay? Read the hip drill. Boom. Stutter go. Safeties. Safeties when we're in man free, because we're talking man concepts. Now, they come down to what we call a 7-yard scooch. 7-yard scooch, okay? So he's outside leverage with his outside foot up, slight outside leverage, and he's scooching. So by the time they get almost to 10 yards, he can now get into that drop low position that the corner was in, that the corner started in. But so he's scooching, and then he's going to get into that drop low position. Same deal. The other safety is the middle of the field safety, right? So this guy's reading the hip, outside hip, because that's the leverage he has on him. Okay, he comes up, he stutters down, read his hip, and then I can undercut dig. If he comes back out to the 7 route, he's going to run right back into me. If he goes post, I'm going to run to his upfield shoulder and push him to the post, to my post helper. So we call this scooch. 7-yard scooch, boom, there's it right there. And he dropped low on him. Notice how he dropped low on him, just like the corner was when he started low. And then notice his eye control is on the hip. He's low, eye control on the hip, and run with him. Scooch, scooch, boom. He can undercut the dig. If it gets high enough, he can undercut the dig. They should be even by 10 at least, by the 10-yard mark at least. They're off at 7. Don't cock so much. You want to stay square. There you go. Stay square as much as possible. Stay square, square, square. Just your outside foot is up. Scooch, scooch, scooch. Read his hip. Drive on him. Okay. Cover 1. Okay, man free. When we talk about it, we tell our corners, and safeties to line up based on certain areas of the field. And this are the dividers in the case of the corners. So if the ball's in the middle of the field, the divider for both corners is 1 yard top of the numbers. 1 yard top of the numbers. It's very, very important that they know this, okay? If the ball's on a hash, okay, the boundary corners divider is the bottom of the numbers. The field corners divider is halfway between the top of the numbers and the hash, okay? Dividers. And they will line up on their number 1 receivers based on the dividers. So if the receiver is on the divider or wider, they'll line up inside. If he's inside the divider, they'll line up slightly outside of him. Okay? That's how our corners will align. That's how they'll align. Okay? Right here in this case, the guy, we're saying the ball's on this hash, he's a boundary corner. So the divider is the bottom of the numbers. So this guy is inside the divider, so he's slightly outside. Slightly outside leverage, okay? Remember in cover 1 or man free, you got a low hole helper, a rat helper, and a deep post helper. So that's where all your help is inside. I tell the guys all the time, if they get beat on the outside route, when all your help is inside, just to leave the field. Don't, because I'm gonna jump out the press box. So leave the field. Don't even, I gave up an outside route, just walk off the field, know that your backup is coming in the game, all right? So here we go right here. Playing press technique, rhythm step, kick slide, offhand jam. Again, we didn't have the rhythm step at this time of this film, but he is kick sliding and offhand jamming right there, okay? He got an inside release, so he can do what? Drop low shoulder. He can drop low shoulder. Read the guy's hip. Never get right behind the guy, which he isn't. Stay offset from that guy. Stay offset, read his hip. Dig, we can undercut dig. We said we can undercut dig. If he ran post, then he's going to run back to his upfield shoulder towards the post. Okay? Boom. There you go. So here guys, another guy coming up, simulating what we got. So now this guy is outside divider, on divider slightly outside. So the corner lines up slightly inside of him, reading his inside hip. Offhand jam, boom. Now, on the outside release, you don't want to go into a trail position. This guy does a little bit because he's guessing what the route is. He guessed the route. But you want to stay even with him if the guy goes outside release. You want to stay even with him if the guy goes outside release. Okay? And then what we do is say run the route with the guy. Run the route with the guy. You can't drop low on the outside release. Right here, guy is inside divider. Divider is the bottom of the numbers because we're to the boundary. So he's slightly outside leverage. Okay? He got an inside release. Rhythm step, kick slide, offhand jam. Read his hip, he comes right back out to me on the 7. I can drop low now because I got an inside release, drop low, and he comes right back out to me on the corner route, 7 route. Middle of the field technique, okay? This right here is not the greatest film to show, but we're gonna show it anyway, okay? But our middle of the field safety, we want him to get to the middle, okay? And the ball is thrown before he can really get set back here on this particular one. We want him to get in the middle, and we want him to be able to weave with the quarterback as the quarterback looks. If the quarterback is looking here, he's going to weave pedal that way. If he brings his eyes back this way, he's going to weave pedal back that way, okay? He's not going to plant, point, and drive out of it until the quarterback's hand comes off the ball, the long arm motion, okay? But as long as his hands are on the ball and he's just looking one way or another, we're just going to weave pedal with the guy. I think this is when we get a little bit. So he weave, boom, and then we want to plant, point, and go get the ball. If I'm breaking to my left, my plant foot is my right, and I want to gain ground. He stepped behind. He stepped in the bucket right there. He didn't gain ground. He planted on his right, but he didn't gain ground with his left. And then we want to high point the ball as much as possible. Okay? So middle of the field drill. So you had the corners that did the read the hip drill. You had the safety scooching down, doing the scooch drill and man free, and then you got the middle of the field safety. So you got everybody covered. All right? Plant, point, drive, high point the ball. Middle of the field drill. And the reason why you see them running from the hash almost, because we play so much cover 4 or 2 press corners and 2 high safeties, a 2-shell look, we want them to disguise it as long as possible so when the ball is snapped, we're then driving to the middle of the field. And there are times we will just say, go ahead and get in the middle, safety get down, no more disguise, let's just line up in it and play it, and then we can get the safety back in the middle, which is a lot easier than trying to run to it then going to a back pedal, to be honest. All right, game clips of our cover 1. Okay? In this case right here, we have corner pressed, okay? Based on divider, the ball's about in the middle of the field, so really the divider would be 1 yard top of the number, so this guy would be inside divider, he should be slightly outside, okay? This guy right here, he's treating it like it's the boundary a little bit and treating him like he's inside the divider, so he played him outside. Right here, this guy right here, backer has a tight end, and we coming down right here, coming down right with this safety on this receiver. This safety's going to the middle of the field, okay? In this particular case, we call this actual formation ace formation, and we play it 2 different ways. I got the other way coming up here in a second, okay? The Mike backer has the back because he went that way, and now that becomes the rat. He becomes the rat. So middle of the field player, rat player. All you helpers in the middle coverage, guys, okay? So here's the scooch safety. Here's the inside release on the corner, okay? Offhand jam, tackle, boom. Okay. Because I said this, I showed these clips in the Glazier clinics over this past season, over this past year that I did the clinics. I'm gonna say it now, even it's the webinar. They threw a flag on my man for that, and that's soft football. I don't know how that's a flag, so I would always ask at the Glazier clinics, can anybody explain to me why that was a flag? I don't get it. So football has become a little bit soft. Okay. We'll look at it from this angle just for me, just to make me feel good, okay? All right? But how is that a flag? I don't get it. Okay? Next. See, Coach D'Antonio didn't realize how that was a flag either. What are you doing? Okay? All right? Next. Now, the other way that we play ace formation, okay? The other way that we play ace formation, we say the corners have the 1s and the safeties have the 2s. The corners have the ones and the safety has the twos. So now you're saying to yourself, well, who is the deep middle player and who is the rat player, right? The backers, between the three backers. So in this case, this field backer will go deep middle, okay? This guy will have the bat based on where he is right now, and this guy would be the rat, the middle player, okay? If the bat came out this way, then he would have him, and he would become the rat. So this is another way that we play our man free, one of our favorite ways, okay? And we started doing this going into the Baylor game a few years ago, our bowl game versus Baylor a few years ago, because there's so much spread, ace formation, trips, and things like that. And this is how we played them. Put our cover guys on their receivers. Cover guy. That's a cover guy and a safety. That's a cover guy and a safety cover guy. And we put our backer in the middle, okay? Rat and a rat and a cover guy on that guy. 2-on-1 on the back. Remember what the rule is. All your help is in the middle. All your help is in the middle. So 7 knows this, okay? 7 knows all my help is in the middle. And remember our scooch drill that we did? Okay, you're supposed to be even by right around 10. Be cool, man, because you can drop low on the inside release. Be cool, be cool. He rolls over nice, and he busts the ball out. If he hadn't bust the ball out and got that ball called on him, he knows to just keep running out the stadium, and our next guy's in the game. Cover one. You should not get beat outside. All your help is inside. If you get beat on the inside route, that's on Coach Barnett, okay? That's on Coach Barnett, but you should have help in there. And that doesn't mean don't cover him. Remember we talked about undercutting a dig, driving to the upfield shoulder of a post. I'm not saying don't cover the guy, but just know that there is no help out there. All your help is inside. So good play by this guy. Good play. Got the ball out. Deep ball judgment, bust the ball, good. In this case right here, now, backer has a tight end, okay? Backer has back. We coming down with this safety. This safety's in the middle. And the corners have got their guys, okay? Down here at the bottom, this guy's inside divider. The ball's on a hash. He's the field corner. The field divider is halfway between the hash and the top of the numbers. He's closer to the hash, so he's definitely inside divider, so you're going to play him outside leverage. Bottom of the numbers is divider for this guy. Okay, he's outside the divider. He should be slight inside leverage. And regardless, if he gets either one of them get an inside release, they can drop low shoulder. Regardless if the guy's inside or outside divider, that's just your alignment. In this case, this guy's supposed to still stay with his man right here. See that? How that start to come open right there? That's his man. He should stay with him. The rat will help him inside, but that don't mean you still don't cover your guy. You still have to cover your man. Let's look at another one here. So here we go. He had this guy right here. He saw that the rat took it over and he came off. He came off. The rat took it over for him, and so he came off to help out. We got an inside release down here. No rhythm step, kick slide. Okay, no rhythm step back then, but it was a kick slide off end jam. He can drop low. He ran post, he pushed him back to the post. He ran post, he pushed him back to the post. Run to the upfield shoulder. I got a middle field helper. I got a rat helper and now a new rat helper. He got a dig, okay? And what this backer is doing, because we're trying to disguise, this is how we look normally in our cover 4 look right here. This is how we look right there, okay? So the quarterback doesn't know until after the snap that we're rolling down to play man free, okay? He doesn't know until after the snap that he's gonna go to the middle of the field. So he still looks like his normal cover 4. So he has this tight end, and we talk about all your help is inside, all your help is inside. But he's aligned inside because he's disguising. So what he has to do is, as this guy comes at the field, reroute him, come inside out on him and run to his outside, what we call slide technique on him. So he's gonna slide to his outside. So if he ran a corner route, he'll be outside to take it on the corner route. If he runs a dig, he can undercut the dig after he slides him. But all my help is inside. So you can see, watch this guy that has a tight end. He's going to try to slide to his outside. Slide to his outside, because all my help is inside. And that's a pretty good job. In this case right here, in this particular case, our corner did not travel. Okay, we would like for him to travel over and take the number 2 guy right there, and the safety would come down on that guy right there, and then we have all 3 backers in the box. He would be in the middle. Okay, but in this case, he did not travel because this is a fast-paced team. Okay, fastball team, and sometimes he wouldn't be able to get over there. So we say no travel this week for the corner because they're fastball. They're lining up on the ball. They're going fast, and he may not get over there. So how we did it was, again, still looking like our normal cover. This is how we would look in cover 4, which we play a lot of, okay? This is how we look against this formation. So we want to look the same. But in this, after the ball snap, you're going to see this guy have to cover that guy, that backer's on that guy, knowing that he still has a rat player and a middle of the field player. And now the corner has a tight end, okay? 2-on-1 on the back. Man free, man free. Not an ideal situation for that backer, okay? Because he should maintain outside leverage. It's not something that he normally does. We try to tell the middle of the field player, know when that backer is, where he is and who he's covering, okay? Because you might have to help him out. Your boys should, that's what they do for a living. They got to cover people. So hopefully we're okay. We get an outside release up top, so I'm not dropping low on the outside release. I got to stay even and read his hip. Run the route with the guy. Read his hip. As he sits down, I sit down. Down here, his tight end is blocking, so he's just playing eyes, making sure he keeps everything inside and in front of him, okay? Man free. Man concepts. Man concepts. Down at the bottom, the corner should travel across with this guy, and he should run in front of the backers as he goes across. We coming down with this safety on that guy. This safety's going to the middle of the field. Okay, I like this clip because this is a big hit clip, and it's not a penalty. So I show that multiple times because I like it. Yes, big hit, and it wasn't a penalty. All right, the next one here. Coming down with the right safety in this case. Again, corner should travel in front of the backers. I should travel, corner, travel. Guys trying to tell him to travel, travel. Okay, that's your man. Okay, man free. Man concepts. Now in this case right here, This is what some people call 11 personnel, okay? So this is a tight end. This is a tight end. And we normally say the safety has 2, right? But these 2 guys are smart enough to know, hey, put me on the tight end and you take the receiver. And that's how they did it. That's how they aligned, okay? That's how they aligned. This is on a pro field. So these ticks right here represent the college numbers. They represent the college numbers. So we're still aligning based on the divider. We should be, okay? This guy would be considered on the numbers, okay, which would be inside the divider. With this being on the hash, he should be slightly outside leverage, okay? That guy's about right on the divider on the college, because the pro numbers, bottom of the pro numbers is basically the college divider. So this guy should be inside leverage, all right? He motions in, he comes in with them, and we got our guys. And the cracks our guy here, boom. I should be outside leverage. I cannot get beat on the outside, okay? I get an outside release. I got to stay even with them. I can't drop low on the outside release. I get an outside release. I have to stay even with them. I cannot drop low on the outside release, but I can still bust the ball out. PBU. What I've found, and I said this before, but quarterbacks like space, so they like cover 3, they like cover 2. They don't like a guy man on a man, okay? They don't like that a whole lot, okay? Because they got to be more precise, especially if it's really good coverage. So man free is one of my favorite change-ups because I think it takes away the air. There's no air. There's no space. If any and everybody saw the Super Bowl, first part of the Super Bowl, you saw that the quarterback for the Patriots was struggling a little bit to throw the ball because the Atlanta Falcons were press technique and there was no space. But you take that same guy who's a vet, when he sees cover 2 and cover 3, he knows where to go with the ball. He knows where to go with the ball, believe me. He didn't seen it enough. I know the openings, I know the holes. But if these guys are playing man free and they right on my guys and they playing with great technique and great coverage, hey, it's a 50-50 ball. I got to throw a really good ball and then it's best man win. It's best man win. I always also say this about young people. They like to play man coverage, okay? They like to play man coverage because if you remember when we were younger and we would go out and play in the street, nobody said, hey man, what we playing? 3? You playing 2? No, you said, I got him, you got him, right? That's how you did it. So guys like playing man free. If you teach it and coach it with confidence. So a young man also knows if you believe in him or not. If you're coaching it and your knees are shaking and you look like you scared to death, then that's how he gonna play. He's gonna play the same way because he knows that you don't believe in him, okay? He knows that you don't believe in him. But if you coach him up and really believe and show that you believe in him and give him good technique, he'll be just fine. He'll be just fine. I promise you, there are a lot of guys that are just natural athletes as receivers that don't know how to get off press coverage because they haven't been taught. They never see it because everybody's so scared of them, they play off. Whereas if you have a confident young man that's maybe not as athletic as that particular receiver, but your young man is confident and he plays with great technique, he'll wear that guy out. You heard it from me. He'll wear him out because the guy won't know how to get off press. But you have to teach it and believe in it and get it done. Right here, we all locked up right here, and it results in a sack. Okay, not as good on my man Scooch down here at the bottom. He should be scooching. That's the safety scooch technique. Okay, read his hip and be ready to go with him. But everybody else is locked up, locked up, locked up, locked up, locked up. Okay, that's the middle of the field player. Sack. Now we're doing it from off. There are times, we like to play with our corners off if we want to. We can do that. Okay, so now just as a change up and to throw them off, are we going to send a zone pressure? What are we doing? And we're still playing our man free stuff. So now these two guys, the two corners that are playing off, become like a scooch safety. Okay, they become like a scooch safety pretty much. The backer's going to have that 3 right there. Boom, and everybody's got their guy. Okay, he should be even closer to it. He's on his guy, okay? He said the rat gonna take his guy over, so he became the rat, middle of the field player. Okay? But we would like for him to even be even closer. And he didn't even give much ground, but react to it, be ready to react to it. There's your man free playing with off corners. Here it is again, a scooch safety, okay, a middle of the field safety, all right? Here's his backer. If you remember the last backer, I talked about sliding, okay? This guy just jumped outside on the snap, and he didn't really have him. Again, backers, got to know when your backer's in coverage. Know when your backer's in coverage. And we saw this in the, if you saw the DB fundamentals, you saw this in the DB fundamentals. So here's deep ball judgment. He got the guy cut off. He's in phase. The ball's thrown down the field. Makes the interception. Man free. Only guy that's kind of running loose is right there. Quarterback got to find him. And this guy knows I got to look out for my backer. Let me look out for my backer as I'm running to the middle. Make sure he's okay. And boom, roll out of it. Coming down here with the safety, middle of the field safety. He's already back there now. So go ahead and play it now. Go ahead and play it. He got jabbed and faked here, but he still has outside leverage because I know where all my help is. If you beat me anywhere, you're not beating me outside, okay? Got him crossed all up, boom. But he's back inside. I can drop low. I got him. Cool. I got a middle of the field helper. Run the route with the guy. Run the route with the guy. But all covered. See, they all covered. Covered, 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 covered. Okay? Right there. Man free. And the last one I'm going to show you is this one right here. Boom, same thing. You see everybody covered. See everybody covered. Okay? The next thing I want to show that we don't have on the film, okay, and I'm going to take you over to the board here real quick. It's a man concept, since we're talking man concepts, and because I know some of you guys may have these questions. If you have a bunch set, 3-man bunch set right there, something like that, okay? We can call what we call traffic. And if you have 3 defensive backs involved or 3 cover guys, because we don't do this with our linebackers. It's got to be all defensive backs to do this, okay? So we'll have a defensive back right there, and he's Xing this guy out right here. He has that guy. He has him. He's out the mix. The remaining 2 defensive backs that's in the traffic will in and out these 2 guys. Okay, so the point man is X'd out, in and out these 2 guys. So if he went here and he went there, they would take him accordingly. Okay, obviously, whenever you're playing a form of in and out, combo, banjo, whatever you call it, if you got double inside or double outside, that's always a tough. So if you got this like this, and you got him to go out there, and you got him to go out there, remember, he's X'd out, DB here, that DB get there, hard to get to that. Or a double inside. Okay, it's gonna be hard for him to get there. Okay, but he can get there. Remember, you still have your rat. You still have your rat. So traffic, traffic, traffic. The point guy is X'd out. The 2 off guys are in and out and on. And I say it that way because you can get a bunch any kind of way if you wanted to. You don't see it. That's typically the main way you see it with the 2-man on. But you could get 1 on and those 2 guys off. The point man is the man is on. He's X'd out. The other 2 guys are in and out, okay? Get that way, and then the last way you can get 3 on, and these 2 guys off. He's X'd out, he's the point man. These 2 guys are in and out, okay? Boom, 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 in and out. That makes sense. Traffic, traffic, traffic. Traffic, traffic, traffic is what we call it, okay? Some other man deals that we talk about that you didn't quite see on the film, we'll talk about back hipping a guy. So say, a lot of times people say, how do we get free on man-free stuff, okay? How do we get loose? They'll try to use the referee. They'll try to use their other teammates to pick you off, okay? So say you get a shallow cross like this, and he starts to get through all the backer here, backer there, and you're going through all these different people. We say on shallow cross, get on his back hip. So get right on his butt, okay? And so whatever he gets through, I get through. Whatever he gets through, I get through. Back hip the guy is what we say here at Michigan State. So whatever he gets through, I get through. If I stay high on him and run like this, then I'm going to get picked off. A ref right here, whoever, another teammate, somebody, and they're going to pick me off. Get right on his butt, back hip. And that'll get you through all the pick situations, okay? And those are man coverage concepts. So we talked about traffic, talked about back hip, and if there was one more I had to do, I would probably say this one right here. If you had 2 on and 1 off, okay, and they start the motion in, right here like this. We do, first of all, when 2 is on and 1 is off, we say push alert. Push alert. All right, meaning that if this guy comes in motion before the ball is snapped, and say we got 2 corners here, push, 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 I'll push to that one, you push to that one, you push to mine. Push alert, push alert. So that's the push alert, then is actual push if the motion happens. If the motion happens, okay? If it starts like this and you 2 say because 2 is on and 1 is off, that means he can possibly motion, and you're saying push alert, say it's a safety here. Push alert, push alert. But nothing ever happens until after the snap. Say after the snap, he comes up and he goes like that, well, we locked. Lock, 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 we got our guys. Lock, lock, lock. Okay, lock, 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 we got our guys. We're not pushing now. The push has to happen before the snap. The push has to happen before the snap, and that means motion. Obviously, I need to say this, obviously, if one is on and two is off, there is no push alert because one can't motion. Okay, one cannot motion. All right, so those are the man coverage concepts, some of the man coverage concepts that we do here at Michigan State. Hopefully you were able to get something out of this, and don't be afraid to do it, coaches, because it can really help you. It can really help you. I wish all you guys the best in the 2017 season, and go green. Thanks.
All right, great. Thanks, Coach Barnett. Right now, we'll start the question and answer portion of this e-clinic. Real quick, coaches, just a reminder to ask your questions. You can type them in that chat box. You can see the icon at the top right of the video viewer. You can type those in, or you can text them to 719-425-9459. So be sure to submit your questions. We have Coach Barnett here on the line with us, and we'll go through. We have a couple questions in right now. So, Coach, first question. First of all, Coach, great clinic. In terms of fundamentals with your safeties, what does your read drill look like in quarters, and what teaching points are crucial?
Well, our read drill in quarters is, first of all, your line. So we're gonna align with our safety most times with a slight inside align technique on a detached number two. If number two is detached from the formation, they're going to be one inside and 9 or 10 yards from him, not from the line of scrimmage, but from the man. And their eye control is on that hip, on that inside hip. And so they're going to what we call scooch back as the guy comes vertical down the field. And so we work those type of drills where a guy run down on the guy and run different routes and run down 10 yards, 15 yards, make a move, and our guys have to cover them. So we actually drill that by, with ourselves, defensive back versus defensive back. Then we go against our wide receivers, then you put it all together in a Skelly situation and in a team situation.
All right, excellent. Thanks, Coach Barnett. Second question, what is the most important fundamentals to stress with youth players?
The most important fundamentals to stress are just overall, first of all, keeping your head up on tackles. Keep your head up on tackles. Don't duck your head. The other thing is to make sure they're always in good position, good football position. They bend at the knees, bend at the hips, and at the ankles, not at the waist. Don't bend at the waist. Don't bend over at the waist, which is going to make you drop your head. You want to have a nice flat back, but bend down like you're almost sitting on a toilet, almost, okay? And with your feet no wider than shoulder width apart, and just in good football position. That's the best thing I can say. Good football position. Don't duck your head. Very, very important when you're talking football.
All right, great. Thanks, Coach Barnett. Next question. Could you talk about how you guys play cover one from cover four look when you want tighter coverage? In other words, do you ever use another technique instead of scooch by the safeties and have them walk down tighter?
Yeah, we will at times, based on the down and distance, we'll tell that safety to go all the way down into a press technique as well, just like the corner. So, and then we'll put the middle of the field safety pre-aligned in the middle of the field when that's the case, because there is no disguise anymore. If we're still trying to disguise it, that safety that is down will come down to 7 yards and scooch it, and the other safety will go to the middle of the field on the snap. But if we want to get that guy all the way down, this 3rd and 2, 3rd and 1, 3rd and 3, we'll give a press signal as well. We'll go one press, and that safety knows we're pressing as well, and go ahead and pre-align the other safety in the middle of the field.